Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I am going to walk you through how I designed this premium SaaS landing page in Figma. Dark mode, glow effects, animations, the whole package. This is the kind of design you will see from startups trying to look modern and premium. So let's break it down step by step. Okay guys, we are going to start design now. And if you want to follow along with me, you can pause this video and copy these colors into your design file. To start designing, I need to create a frame first. By pressing F on my keyboard, I am going to choose this desktop frame. Okay. And then I am going to give it a fill of this dark color 0E0702. And next, I think I should create refracted glass blur effect first as a background, and then we will move on to next design. To create refracted glass effect, I need to draw a rectangle by pressing R on my keyboard. Okay. And it will have width of 60 pixels and height is going to be 1024 pixel. Okay. And we can duplicate it by holding Alt key. And let's name this rectangle A. Okay, so we know what we are doing with them. So this will be rectangle B. Okay, let's give rectangle A some properties. It will have fill of D9 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 color. Okay, it will remain the same, but it will have blending effect of multiply. Okay, and it will have effect of background blur, and value is going to be 1. Okay, and rectangle B will have fill of a gradient linear gradient, and it will have 3 stops, and all stop will have this color D9. The top stop will have 80% opacity, and the second stop will have 40% opacity, and third stop will have 10% opacity. And let's move our position of linear gradient to horizontal center. What we need it into center, so let's move it there as well. Okay, and the second stop will stop at 71%. Okay, there. Okay, so our rectangle B is also ready. So next thing we need to do is we need to put this rectangle A on top of rectangle B. So let's move it on the top. Okay, and move it there as well, and we need to select both of them and right click on your mouse, and we need to choose this option, use as mask. Okay, so our mask is ready. So next thing we need to do is we need to turn this mask layer, rectangle B, to luminance. Okay, and we can name it blur. Okay, and we need to change opacity of rectangle B to 0.5. Okay, and we can turn it into a component by, there is the option of creating turning it into a component. So we are going to click this one. So our component blur component is ready. We need to place it inside of our frame. So let's put it there. So I am going to duplicate it. So we placed our first layer blur effect, not layer blur, reflected glass effect. So let's duplicate it again. Okay, and we can select both of them and turn them into auto layout. Okay, and I am going to duplicate it until it reaches there. So I am going to press Ctrl D to do that. Okay, our reflected glass background is ready. As you can see, it is not popping up too much because it doesn't have a background. So to pop up, it should have a layer blur background, something like this, glow, then it will pop up. So we need to select this frame. We can call it effect. Okay, and we need to change its width to hug. I think hug will be okay, and yeah, it looks okay. And our refracted glass effect is ready, and we can simply hide it because we need to draw a circle. Okay, I am going to draw a circle by pressing O on my keyboard and holding shift key. So we need to change width and height of circle as well, and width is going to be 380 and height is going to be 380 as well. Okay, and we need to zoom in and choose this arc option, and we need to move it down like this, and we need to change its ratio to 50%. You can change values here, so ratio will be 50% and the sweep is going to be 100%. We call it sweep. As you can see, it is called sweep. Okay, and it will have fill of this color. Okay, and it will have effect of layer blur and value is going to be 100. We also need to give it blending mode and it is going to be plus lighter. Okay, but fill opacity is going to be 50%. Okay, our circle is ready. Donut like circle. Okay, so we will place it there, and let's duplicate it again. Okay, and place it there, and then we can unhide our effect, this one, and let's move these circles down. Maybe we can move our effect on the top. Okay, so circles are behind our layer reflected glass effect, so it looks cool, just similar to this one. And next thing we need to do is we need to create a background there. To create background, I need to draw a circle, but before that I should lock these layers so they don't interfere with our other design processes. So I am going to draw a circle by pressing O on my keyboard. So let's draw it. It will have height of 700. Okay, and width can be same like this. Okay, let's move it there, and control Z. I am going to move it there. Okay, I think there is fine, and it will have fill of this color. Okay, but fill is going to be 70%, and it will have effect of layer blur and value is going to be 100. Okay, so our this background is also ready. Let's lock it is as well. So next thing I need to do is I need to create a header there. To create header, I am going to write text by pressing T on my keyboard, and text is going to be Savio. That is the name of logo, and it will have font size of 20 pixels, and font weight is going to be medium, and letter spacing is going to be -4%. Okay, so next I need to put an icon there. To have icon, I am going to use this plugin quick fill. Okay, so it is opening. So plugin is open. I need to go to assets, then go to brand logos, then choose this option placeholder, because it has all the dummy logos that we can use. So my logo will be that I used. I think it will be, I am scrolling down. I think I should go, oh, I use this logo, so we are going to select it. So it is there. Let's place it there. And we need to move our logo into our design file, a design frame. Okay, and we need to change its height and width, and width is going to be, I think, 32. Okay, so our logo width is ready. So let's select both of them and turn them into auto layout. They will have a gap of, I think, 8. Okay, and then we need to create our nav links. I am going to write nav link by pressing T on my keyboard, and I think first link is going to be home. Okay, and it will have properties. Font size is going to be 14, and font weight is going to be regular. Letter spacing is going to be -4%, but fill is going to be white, but it will have opacity of 80%. Okay, so our first nav link is ready. Let me zoom in so you can see properly. So I am going to duplicate it 4 more times by pressing Ctrl D. Okay, and we need to separate them. Okay, our 5 links are ready and we need to change their wording. So second will be pricing. Spellings are wrong. Pricing. Okay, the third one is going to be features, and the fourth one is going to be resources, and the last one is going to be about. Okay, and let's select all of them by holding shift key. Okay, and turn them into auto layout, and they should have gap of 32 pixels. Okay, and we can place it there. I can simply delete this nav link, we don't need that one. So these ones are okay. So next thing I need to do is I need to create a CTA button there. To create that one, I need to write text. Text is going to be get started. Then we can turn it into auto layout. This is the way you should create your button. So follow it properly. So I am going to give it a fill. Fill is going to be white, but it will have opacity of 80%. Okay. And button text, we need to change its color to black. And it will have font weight of medium. Okay. And font size is going to be 16. And we need to change its corner radius. Let's select it. Corner radius is going to be, I think, 100 because it is fully rounded. And next thing we need to do is we need to give it proper horizontal padding, which is going to be, I think, 24, and height is going to be 8. Okay, our button is ready, and I think we also need to give it a effect of inner shadow. Inner shadow will be the effect, but blur y and x value will be 0, and blur effect is going to be 16, and color is going to be white, and it will have color of opacity of 50%. Okay, our inner shadow is also ready. Okay, our button is ready. So let me zoom out, and I am going to select this button, these nav links, and this logo, and turn it into auto layout by pressing shift A, and I need to align them in center. Okay, and they will have gap of auto, but let's give it a height of 14, same height as our parent frame. Okay, and we need to place it there. Let me zoom out so you can see. So it is just touching the both sides of our main frame. So next what we can do is we can give it a horizontal padding of 80. Okay, so our nav bar is ready. You can call it header nav bar. They are same things. So let's place it little bit above by pressing the top arrow on your keyboard. Okay, so I think our navbar is ready. Next thing we need to make is we need to create our heading, subheading, and CT buttons there, and we also need to create a flag. This one you can also call it badge or flag, both are same things. So let's do that. Okay, to create badge, I am going to write text there, and text is going to be we are launching soon. Stay tuned. And text will have font size of 14. Okay, and font weight will be regular, and letter spacing is going to be -2%, and it will have slightly dark gray color. Okay, let's do it. And then we need an icon there. I am simply going to use icon from this file. Okay, let me go there, And don't worry, I will leave the link for these assets in the description, so you will not have any problem if you are following along with me. So let's paste our icon there. Okay, and icon is there. Let's move it here. I am going to select this text and this icon and turn them into auto layout. They will have gap of 8. Okay, and horizontal padding is going to be 16 and vertical padding is going to be 8, and they will have corner radius of 100, and fill is going to be white but opacity is going to be 5%. Let me zoom in so you can see. And stroke, we will add stroke will be slightly gray color like this. Okay, and it will also have effect of background blur and value will be 50. Okay. Okay, our badge is ready. Now I am going to create heading there. To create heading, I am going to write text there. Text will be take control of your financial growth. Okay, and then we need to change its properties. Font size is going to be 80 and font weight is going to be medium, and line height is going to be 90, and letter spacing is going to be minus 4%. Okay. Okay, our heading is ready. Let's move it there and change its size as well. And we need to align it center. Okay, and let's change its size like this. Okay, and we also need to change font of this text. This text font is going to be instrument sans, instrument serif. Okay, and font weight is going to be italic. Okay, our heading is ready, and then we need to put subheading there. I'm simply going to copy subheading from this file so we can save our time, because then I have to remember everything and write it there, which is not a time saving process. Control V. Okay, so subheading will be here, and then we need CTA buttons there. I am simply going to copy this button and holding alt key I am placing it here. So let's duplicate it. Control D, and one button will be there, and the first button we need to change its background, and background color is going to be linear gradient, and top value is going to be FF8F4C. Okay, and let's copy this same code to the bottom stop, but bottom stop will be slightly darker like this. Okay, and we need to change position of our linear gradient from top to bottom like this. And next thing we need to do is we need to change text color, which is going to be white, and text is going to be start saving today. Okay, our text is ready. We also need to change its inner shadow. Inner shadow is going, y value is going to be minus 2%, and blur is going to be 2. Our inner shadow is ready, and I think our buttons are ready. We need to select both of these buttons. Okay, and turn them into auto layout. They will have gap of 12. Okay, and we also need to give auto layout to our this content. So we will select our header and subheading, turn it to auto layout, and they will have gap of 16. Okay, then we need to select this auto layout and these buttons and turn it into auto layout. They will have gap of 40, and at the last we can select our badge and our this auto layout frame, so we can turn it into auto layout, and they will have gap of 32. Okay, our middle content is ready. Let's align it into center of our main frame. So then next we need to put our dashboard image there. Okay, so let's do that. So we need to place dashboard image there. I already have dashboard image there. I'm simply going to copy it, and you can also get this dashboard image in the link in the description. So I am going to paste it here. Okay, it will have width of 1120 and height is going to be 796, and we should give it corner radius of 20, and then we will turn it into auto layout, and auto layout will have corner radius of 32. And you should always remember parent layer should have higher corner radius than the child layer. It is the standard practice. So we need to give it a fill as well, and fill is going to be this color. Okay, and opacity, fill opacity is going to be 50%. We also need to give it effect, not this, effect of background blur, and value is going to be 100. Okay, okay, our dashboard image is ready. Next thing we need to do is we need to give it a glow effect, a background glow. So how can we do that? To do that, we need to draw some oval shapes. I am going to press O on my keyboard and draw some ovals, and oval will have the width of 924 and height is going to be 230. Okay, and the fill is going to be this color, and we also need to give it effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 100. We also need to give it blending effect of plus lighter. Okay, and we need to duplicate it two more times, control D, and select all of these oval shapes and turn them into a group by pressing control G. Okay, and place it below our dashboard image. Our dashboard image is there, so it is behind our dashboard image, and let's move it down by holding down arrow key on your keyboard. Okay, like that. We also need to select our we need to move this glow background below our effect layer there. Okay, we also need to give it slightly glowing background. So how to do that? We need to draw a big circle. Okay, like this, and we need to make it little bit bigger, and then we need to give it a fill, and fill is going to be this same color, and it will have opacity of 50% opacity, and it will have effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 250. Okay, and we need to place it below our effect layer, and let's move it there. Okay, and we need to move it down a little bit. Okay, our dashboard image, let's move everything into, align everything into center. I am going to select this one and align it into center, and dashboard image, align center. And also we need to align these glow effect. I think this is a glow effect, and align it into center. Okay, we can also move it a little bit down as well to give it a proper nice effect. I think our design is ready. And last thing we can add these 3D shapes there. I got these 3D shapes from this community, Figma community file, and you can simply copy them. It is not necessary our design already looks better, but I just added them for fun. You can also do that if you want to add them. So you can select, I think I used this one. Okay, control C, and you can place it inside of your design. Okay, and you can change its height and width by pressing K, and it will have 50 width and 50 height. You can move it there. Okay, you can use your arrow key on your keyboard if it is interfering with your other layers, and you can also duplicate it and you place it there as well, and you can change its size to 120 maybe. Okay, and you can change its angle like this and place it there. And I also used this shape, I think this one, control C, we will go to our design file and we will place it there. Okay, we can also change its size to 80. Okay, so our design is ready. I hope you liked this video, and if you have any questions you can leave them in the comment section, and you can also leave some suggestions if you want to suggest something to me. And I will see you in next tutorial. I hope you liked this video and you will also subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much. See you in the next video.